So this has been an interesting one because it isn't the usual type of product that we take a look at these days on TechNuovo, but I saw it as an opportunity as I've been needing some media solution for out-of-home streaming for a while now. The story goes that my parents wanted to be able to access all of the home movie footage that I have on my current NAS drive, which is the single-base Synology DS119J. Now, it's okay for backing up important Word documents and storing important files like my home movies, but it is really awful, to be honest with you, when trying to stream any kind of content to my phone or to my TV, even when everything is on the same network. It just didn't want to know, and buffering took forever for nothing to happen. Now though, let's caveat a little bit because I think my setup here is important to let you know. Now, I am a beginner with this kind of thing, so do bear with me here. My house now has a Netgear Nighthawk RS200 at its center, capable of up to 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. Now, I had my 119J plugged into my 2.5 gigabit LAN port and my PC into the 1 gigabit LAN port, and the 2.5 gigabit WAN port goes off to my Virgin Hub 4 router. That's my setup, so that might have been a limiting factor here. My download speed from Virgin hits 1 gigabit per second, but my upload speed is capped at around 50 megabit per second. Again, maybe a hindrance there. I'm not the most up to date with NAS knowledge, and I'm pretty much a noob in every single way when it comes to these kind of things. Now, I just knew that I couldn't play any videos no matter what I tried, and it's something that I wanted to fix. Anyway, here's where the opportunity arose to do something about it, because UGREEN reached out to me, and I know UGREEN for things like USB dongles and adapters, and I've been using their products before with my Steam Deck, but this time they asked if I wanted to check out their new NAS offering. Now, it is called the DXP4800 Plus, and UGREEN sent out the unit as well as 4 4TB mechanical hard drives to fill it up. And comparing the two NAS drives, my Synology with its single 4TB drive in there has an 800 MHz Marvel Armada 3700 dual-core processor with 256 megabit of DDR3 RAM and a single gigabit Ethernet port. So even though it was plugged into the 2.5 gigabit port on the Netgear Nighthawk, essentially being able to max out the transfer speed, it did still struggle hard. On the other hand, the new DXP4800 Plus has a Pentium Gold 8505 5-core Alder Lake processor with 8 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, which is expandable to 64 gigabyte if needed. It's got a 128 gigabyte system SSD instead of flash, and is capable of 10 gig E, which, if I'm not mistaken, plugging this into my 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port on my Nighthawk mesh would max out the 2.5 gigabit capabilities of that Ethernet connection, right? Now let me know in the comments, as I said, I'm pretty new to this if I have got this wrong. Around front, you've also got an SD card reader and a USB Type-A and USB Type-C port for external storage, as well as 2 M.2 slots on the bottom if you need a bit more faster storage than the mechanical hard drives. And after what I can really only describe as an extremely easy setup, putting the drives into the caddies and sliding them into the units to running its first initial setup by following the link in the user manual, everything was just very quickly up and running. And by the way, to let you know, I set my array up in RAID 5. Not sure if that was the best thing to do, but I honestly followed UGREEN's simple on-screen recommendations for setting up the NAS for media playback. And I wanted a bit of redundancy in case any of the drives did fail, so I didn't lose my files. And to be honest, it was so damn easy to set up compared to my old Synology system. And yes, I'm sure NAS drives have come a long way since 2018 when I first tested the 119J. But yeah, let's just say I was expecting a bit of a headache, but with the UGREEN DXP4800 Plus, it really wasn't. Now, what was a little frustrating though, which was no fault of UGREEN's at all, was transferring all of my old files over to the new NAS, of which I plugged the Synology into one of the 1 gigabit Ethernet ports, mapped the drive to Windows, and just drag and dropped and left my computer running for a couple of days. It did it in the end, and it was painless again to transfer over. It just took a long time. So now all of my files are on the DXP4800 Plus. I needed to create user accounts so my parents had access. And setting up a user profile for my parents was simple. I did this myself on their behalf as the admin user and created and sent the password across to them. Now my parents then downloaded the UGREEN NAS app on their Samsung Android phone, used their address of my NAS drive along with their login credentials, and instantly had access to their user area, which is laid out similarly to File Explorer on a Windows PC, so it was easily recognizable and all very simple to navigate. Now granted, they don't actually have much within their area to begin with, it's pretty empty, and they're just a remote user for now, but still, if they wanted to start uploading files to the NAS drive and use it as their own personal cloud storage, say if they've taken photos on their mobile phone and wanted to upload those, then they're more than able to do that within their own user area and also the UGREEN app. Now inside of the Files app though, on my desktop side, I have everything they have access to, including my own personal folder where I can store my own files privately from other users, a shared folder for files that are automatically shared between multiple users, and this is where the home movies are currently stored. And there is also a user area where I, as an admin, can see what other people have stored on my NAS drive within their own personal folder. But yes, I know that was a little bit long-winded, and I know the question does still remain. And yes, watching home movies remotely was an absolute breeze. They live around 300 miles away from me here and have passable 60 megabit per second broadband from EE, as that's really all they can get in their home right now. And as you can see from the video on screen now of me as a child, they could play back the videos and it all worked extremely smoothly at 1080p quality, which is the highest quality that the video originally has been captured in. Well, when I say captured, no, it was captured at 480p or lower because it was back in the early 90s. But yeah, when they copied over the home video to their computer using a Dazzle piece of kit, can't remember what it was called, they captured that in 1080p because why not? They were able to watch the movies back by playing the videos directly to their mobile phone and casting it to the TV itself. And this can either be done on the phone itself, or there is the ability to cast the video inside of the UGREEN NAS app as well. And as we're talking apps, there are various apps that can be stored directly onto the NAS drive, including a virtual machine, media playback apps if you plug it into your TV directly using the HDMI port on the back, because yes, it has one of those as well. You've got text editors, photo playback apps, which use AI to organize your photos by facial recognition, and even browsers like web browsers. The control panel gives you access to user management, network settings, security settings, and more on that. And inside of storage, you can see your drive health, its max capacity, and how much space you've used, and all of that kind of thing. Now again, it is all very neatly laid out, and more importantly, I think self-explanatory, as the Synology web portal just, I don't know why, but it just confused the hell out of me, and everything looks neat here. So with all of that said and done, this UGREEN DXP4800 Plus has achieved exactly what I wanted it to do, what I set out to do: play videos remotely across the internet. But of course it does do a lot more, which I for one didn't really need, but they'll be nice to have in the future in case I wanted to expand my desktop storage for work. Think things like mapping drives to Windows or doing video editing projects directly from the NAS drive, because I'm a DaVinci Resolve user now, and there is a way to do that, I just haven't set it up because I've not needed it yet. It's an incredibly flexible machine, and I for one am so happy with it, and happy I finally got a solution for my video playback issue. And again, thanks to UGREEN for sending out this equipment. There will be a link in the comments with a discount on there as well. It does mean a lot, it really does, to be able to find solutions to real world problems that I have and make content about it. I really do appreciate it. But make sure to check out that link down below, because yeah, if you're after a NAS drive, I don't think you'd be disappointed here. See ya.